ठीक है, तो इस चैप्टर में हम पढ़ेंगे एक बार कि ईश्वर को प्राप्त करने के कुछ जो भक्ति मार्ग हैं, कुछ वो जो पाथ हैं कैसे डिसाइड हुए या क्या क्या वो चीज़ हैं। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। भक्ति मूवमेंट, सिखिज्म, सूफिज्म एंड इट्स टीचिंग्स एंड रिलीजियस सिस्टम। So devotional paths to the divine encompass a wide range of practices and beliefs found across various religions and spiritual traditions. So these paths emphasize personal devotion, love and surrender to a higher power, often fostering a deep connection between the individual and the divine. ठीक है, तो सबका अलग अलग तरीका होता है भक्ति करने का, अलग अलग पाथ होते हैं सबके, तो उसी बारे में हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं। टू मूवमेंट्स इन मेडिवल पीरियड ब्रॉट अ न्यू फॉर्म ऑफ स्पिरिचुअलिटी अमंग मुस्लिम्स एंड द हिंदूज। तो जो दो आंदोलन हुए थे मध्यकालीन युग में, वो एक नई वो लाए स्पिरिचुअलिटी हिंदू और मुस्लिम इनके धर्म को लेके। सो द सूफीज वर मिस्टिक हु कॉल्ड फॉर लिबरल इस्लाम। तो इस्लाम तो क्या बोला जाता था उन्हें? सूफी। सो दे एम्फसाइज्ड ऑन egalitarian society based on universal love. The Bhakti Sant transformed Hinduism by promoting the devotion as means to attain God. But there were many common points of view in their principles, as both movements emphasized on social equality and taught moral values. The Bhakti movement, Bhakti आंदोलन क्या होता है ये? The word Bhakti means devotion or love for God. ठीक है, भक्ति का मतलब होता है भगवान के प्रति श्रद्धा रखना, भक्त होना उनका, भगवान के लिए प्यार। सो इट्स टीचिंग डिड नॉट बिलीव इन कास्ट डिस्टिंक्शन और क्लास हेटर। तो जो भक्ति, जो पूजा, जो भगवान होते हैं वो नहीं मानते इस चीज़ को, क्या चीज़ है कि कोई श्रेणी है, कोई वर्ण है, कुछ है, किसी का कोई पद है, इस चीज़ को नहीं मानते। इट्स फॉलोवर्स आर डिवाइडेड इनटू टू ग्रुप्स, दोज बिलीविंग गॉड हैविंग अ फॉर्म Saguna and those believing God has formless Nirguna, Sagun or Nirgun. So the follower of Saguna Bhakti worship their gods in different forms and in various incarnations. The followers of Nirguna Bhakti consider God as omnipresent and residing in every heart. Basic principle. Main principles of Bhakti movement were: the Bhakti movement had seen its rise early in the 6th century in South India. About 12 Vaishnavite sons known as Alvars and 63 Sabbats known as Nayanars had started this movement in the Tamil region. During medieval period, the movement spread to the whole of India. Its basic principles are, तो उसके basic सिद्धांत क्या थे? Kindness, discarding of any discrimination based on gender, caste or creed, brotherhood of mankind, a loving relationship between a devotee and his personal God, and discarding of rituals and sacrifices as modes of worship. The 7th to 19th, there were 63 Nayanars who belonged to different social backgrounds such as potters, untouchable, workers, peasants, hunters, soldiers, Brahman and chiefs. So the best known among them were Apan, Sambandar, Sundarar and Manik Avsagar. There are two sets of compilations of their song, Tevaram and Tiruvakkam. Okay, so there were 12 Alvars who came from equally divergent backgrounds, the best known being Peri Alvar, his daughter Annal, Tondari, Kodi Alvar and Namalavar. Their songs were compiled in the Divya Prabandham. Success of Bhakti movement. Bhakti movement became success due to the following reasons. Bhakti sons preached in the popular local languages Hindi, Marathi, Bengali, Uriya, Assamese, Telugu and Kannada. They emphasize simple ways for the realizations of God. They turned Bhakti into a movement of masses. At the time when society had become polarized, they discarded caste, color, creed and gender-based bias. Important Bhakti son. Some of the great reformers of the Bhakti movement were the following. First one is Ramanuj. Was born in a town near Madras. He preached the worship of Vishnu. He won many followers in South India. Okay, Ramananda was born at Allahabad in a Brahmin family. He was the first reformer to preach in Hindu. So he preached in the north. One of his disciples was Kabir. Kabir was a weaver by profession. He had firm faith in Hindu-Muslim unity, and the thousands of his disciples came from both these communities. He believed in Nirguna form of bhakti. So he was a famous disciple of Ramananda. His couplets or dohas are still recited everywhere in India. Sant Janeshwar, also known as Gyaneshwar, began the Bhakti movement in Maharashtra. He wrote a commentary on Bhagavad Gita in Marathi. Namdev was a Maratha son. He preached honors of God for all the religions. He had a great influence on Chhatrapati Shivaji. Guru Nanak was an important Bhakti son. We have already learned earlier that he was the founder of the Sikh faith in India. He was born at Talwandi in West Punjab. His teachings were later collected in Guru Granth Sahib. Vallabhacharya was born in a Brahmin family near Banaras. He preached the worship of Lord Krishna. He said that there is no difference between the Atma and Paramatma. Such a doctrine is called Advaitavad. ठीक है. अब Chaitanya was born in Nadia in AD 4085. He was a devotee of Lord Krishna and preached universal brotherhood and love, her main Vaishnavism, very popular in Bengal, Assam and Odisha. Mirabai was a Rathod princess. She was married to Rana Sanga's eldest son, Bhojraj, since her childhood. She was a great devotee of Krishna. Her devotional songs are very popular even today. She contributed a lot in popularizing the Bhakti movement. Narsi Mehta is also known as Narsimha Mehta. He popularized the Bhakti movement in Gujarat. His songs in Gujarati depicting divine love of Radha Krishna are still very popular. Surdas and Tulsidas were great son poets. Surdas was a devotee of Krishna and Tulsidas worshipped Ram. So the poems of Surdas were later compiled as Sur Sagar. So Tulsidas is the author of Ramcharitmanas and many other works including Hanuman Chalisa. Okay, so Shankar Dev in Assam was a great religious reform. He believed in absolute devotion to Vishnu and in his incarnation of Krishna. So he made Vaishnavism very popular in Bengal, Assam and Odisha. Sufism and its teachings. The Sufis had come from Persia much before Islamic rule. So they had settled in various parts of India. So the Sufis laid great emphasis on the principles of Tawbah and Tawakkul, trust in God, repentance and trust in God. They derived their teachings chiefly from Hadith, saying of Prophet Muhammad as well as Quran. So during Islamic rule, a large number of Sufis came to India from different Islamic countries. After the rise of Bhakti movement, Sufism also began to grow. So they did not believe in feast, fast and rituals. So they believed in love for the fellow beings. They emphasized love and devotion as a means of coming nearer to God. The main principles of Sufism were: God is one and all powerful, all men are his children. If one truly loves God, then one comes nearer to God and to one's own fellow man. Prayers, fasts and rituals were not so important as the true love of God. Paths to God can be many, so one should be tolerant of other religions and sects. Respect for all humans being is necessary. One should be a better Hindu or a better Muslim. As such, there is no need of conversion. Devotional music is one way of coming close to God. People should follow the teachings of a pir who was like the Hindu Guru. Some important reformers of Sufism. Hazrat Khwaja Muhyiddin Chishti was born in Central Asia. He died in AD 1236 and was buried at Ajmer. So his dargah is a place of pilgrimage for the Indian Muslims. Hazrat Khwaja Nizamuddin Aulia of Delhi, Nasiruddin Chirag of Delhi and Salim Chishti of Sikri near Agra preached religious tolerance to them. Ishwar and Allah are the names of the same God. Now we will talk about Sikhism. Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia was the disciple of Hazrat Baba Farid. After the death of Baba, he led the Chishti order and admitted many men into the order. Guru Nanak was the founder of Sikhism. He was born in 1469 at Talwandi, now called Nankana Sahib, now in Pakistan. So, Adi Granth or Guru Granth Sahib is the sacred book of Sikhism. The main teachings of Guru Nanak form the basic principles of Sikhism. According to him, God is one. So, he is the creator of the universe. So, God is truth. भगवान एक है, भगवान सत्य है. Class distinctions are useless because they divide human beings. कोई श्रेणी, कोई पद मायने नहीं रखता, केवल God. He believed in good actions and true devotion. To bring different castes together, he insisted that his followers should dine together at the langar or community kitchen. He did not believe in renouncing the world. He said that the household stage is superior to all the stage. There are 10 Guru of Sikh. Guru Nanak, Guru Angad, Guru Amar Das, Guru Ram Das, Guru Arjun, Guru Har Gobind, Guru Har Rai, and Guru Har Krishna, Guru Tegh Bahadur, and Guru Gobind Singh, who founded the Khalsa in 1699. Religious system. धार्मिक सिस्टम क्या है? Religious system in the north 800 to 1200. During this period, the Rajputs were mostly followers of Hindus. जो राजपूत थे वो हिंदूज के फॉलोवर थे. This religion made great progress under them. Both the Shaiva and Vaishnava sects were quite popular in northern India. So the people worshipped Vishnu, Shiv, Durga, and many other gods and goddesses of the Hindu. So people belonging to Vaishnava sects came to believe in the legend of 10 incarnations of Vishnu. These 10 incarnations are Matsya Kurma, Varaha, Narsimha, Vamana, Parsuram, Rama, Krishna, Buddha, and Kalki. Religious system in the south. A number of religious movements started during this period. The Alwar and Naina saints continued to popularize their own sects. The Alwars popularized devotional songs of Vaishnavism, while Nainas sung hymns in praise of Shiva. So the Lingayan was the most popular of the religious sect. Some great religious teachers also lived during this period. So the best known among them were Shankaracharya and Ramanuja. So Shankaracharya was born around AD 788 and belonged to Kerala. So he taught that knowledge was necessary for the worship of God. It is called the Janan Marg. He preached religious monotheism for the system of Advaita, which means that God is unique. He established 4 mathas or centers of Hindu culture in the 4 corners of India, namely Jyotirmath. At Badrinath in the north, Sharad Peeth. At Dwarka in the west, Govardhan Math. At Puri in the east and Shringar Math in the south. These maths have assumed great importance with the passage of time. Ramanuj preached the Bhakti Marg. He was born in Tirupati about in AD 1070. He emphasized that love and devotion were necessary for the worship of God. So he regarded all human beings as equal. For him, no one was high or low. So every man could attain salvation by the true worship of Vishnu. Okay, Madhvacharya's teachings were similar to those who Ramanuj. Unlike Shankaracharya, he believed that God and soul are 2 different things. Religious system during the Delhi Sultanate. During Sultanate period, the Turkish rule over India, the main principles of Islam were the following. There is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his prophet. Muslims must pray 5 times a day. Muslim must give alms to the poor and needy. Muslim must observe fast during the holy month of Ramzan. Muslim must make a pilgrimage to Makkah at least once in a lifetime if they can afford to. The pilgrimage is known as Hajj. Religious systems and cults under the Mughals. Mughals were followers of Islam like their Turkish counterparts. They applied religious law in the functioning of the government. So Akbar, however, followed a liberal religious policy. He believed that every religion was basically good. He was influenced by the liberal idea of the Sufi sect in AD 1579. Akbar also issued a royal Farman declaring himself as the supreme arbiter in religious matters. This order also reduced the powers of the Muslim clergy, the ulema. So during the religious discourse at the Ibadat Khana, Akbar found out that basically all religions taught similar things. So thus he incorporated the principles of all the religions to found a new faith which they named as Din-e-Ilahi. Okay, so these are the all topics related are religions. Okay, so all topics are covered here in this chapter. I hope you all are very well understand it and enjoyed also. We will meet you the next class. Thank you.